I have a few things that I want to talk about real quick. Just to follow up from our previous discussion about the signed off by thing, if we can get rid of it or what can we do to make it easier. So looks like people are okay with getting rid of it for doc PRs. But it might just be harder to integrate that kind of rule or that kind of logic into GitHub to just do that. So now the general idea is that people still want a signed off by for other PRs, which are not just doc. And there were a few ideas that came up that maybe we can make we can add the signed off by in the merge commit where we add the reviewed by and all that stuff, which would just mean that it is in the next merge commit and not in the original PR. But in general, I think I still see value in having something like easy steps to add a signed off by in whatever state a person is in from there. Like, starting from the basic situation where you want to add a signed off by, or if you already created a PR and then you want to add it, or if you've used the web UI and you then want to add it. So like these are the clear 3 scenarios where people might want to understand how to do that stuff. So I think it wouldn't harm us to just write a simple doc or maybe even just create a video of how that can be done. Is what I think that came out of the whole thing. What do you think? Sounds easier.
Yeah, I think that sounds easier than trying to hack the Jenkins logic or whatever.
Yeah. And I mean, the only problem again with making signed off by not a mandatory check is that people can still override it, and then it again doesn't solve the whole purpose of having a signed off by in regular PRs as well, like which make code changes. So I think that's kind of clear. We start probably working on something that can make it easier, and we can just point people to that particular link and have it in the docs as well, in the getting started pages as well.
I see.
That's one thing, I think. And the other thing that I wanted to bring up was about this, which I've added to the Etherpad already, but I'm just pasting it in the chat as well. So we have this contract position open for Ceph upstream documentation. And now we have it posted in our website as well. So the requirements and the deliverables and the responsibilities and all the terms and conditions are already there. The idea is, in general, the gist is that we do not expect people to be super familiar with distributed systems or Ceph or even C++, but they should have basic experience of writing documentation, technical documentation, and be familiar with the tools that can help with those things. Also, I just wanted to use this forum to, for people who are watching this video and are interested in applying for this position. I think the best way to go is to use this email, opportunities@ceph.io. Just send an email with resume and proposal and everything.
Awesome.
I think those are the main things I had for this week that I wanted to talk about. I haven't really gotten a chance to work on something really constructive last week, busy with other things. But anything that you have now?
Should we do we have an update for the talk proposal?
Oh, yeah, that's another good point. Yeah, I wanted to bring that up as well. So we have this talk that got accepted to Open Source Summit Europe, and I can try to get a link to that as well. Pasting it in the chat. The title of the talk is about growing and sustaining open source software, and we're going to be talking about the evolution of the Ceph development process. And the idea, the main idea there is to highlight the importance of documentation and the stuff that we are trying to do here at DocUBetter to bridge the gaps of how quickly the code changes, but the documentation is not up to date, and that's one of the biggest challenges for users and developers. So I am going to be talking to Mike, our community manager, later this week about what other stuff is relevant with respect to this talk. But that's about it. That's kind of the idea, is to first be able to narrow down on what are the key aspects that we should highlight in this talk and how we can use this platform, which is not just a Ceph platform or a storage platform, but just an open source software platform, to talk about Ceph and talk about documentation and other improvements. Yeah, does that
sounds
answer?
good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you're going to be around, feel free to join that meeting.
Are you going to put that on the community calendar?
I don't think so, but I can send you an invite.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay. Anything else?
That's all I got.
Okay. So I think the other thing that I also want to talk to Mike about is that we discussed earlier that there are two clear things that we need to address. One is docs.ceph.com and the Ceph website, and how we can improve the getting started aspect of the Ceph website. So probably that is another thing that Mike can help us with. And some of the ideas that we've discussed earlier in this meeting is something that I want to propose to him as well. And maybe we can have him come to one of these meetings and let us know how he thinks we can proceed on that, and how we can get more people involved even in the website aspect of things, not just the docs.ceph.com part of it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think those are key things that were on my agenda. If you don't have anything else, Noah, then we can keep it short this week.
All right. I think so. We're good.
Right. Cool. Talk to you later. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.